Chiefs. Chiefs win. Chiefs win 5-4. 50 years ago, I was not cheering for the Chiefs. I didn't see the whole game. They were playing my Vikings. I was like 12 years old, and when their big wide receiver caught that sideline pass and went down for the touchdown, and he knew it was all but gone. It was early in the fourth quarter. I remember going outside. It's like 30 below, going out behind the skating shack behind our house and crying my eyes out because my Vikings were going down. That were the biggest things in my life. And then 50 years later, the Chiefs are there, and no, I was fully in the Chiefs camp. Why was I fully in the Chiefs camp? Why would I fully be in the Chiefs camp? Anybody have a clue? Anybody have a clue? Think about the Chiefs. Their personnel, their staff. Think about it. Who said it? Old guy coach. Old guy coach. Got to go for the old guy coach.
I honestly thought it was so sweet. You're right, because it's like my dad won a Super Bowl last night. Like, that's how I feel. It's like Andy Reid's everyone's dad.
Yep. Yeah. No, I was like, it was all about, I could care less one team or the other, but Andy Reid, you know what? The young whippersnapper Shanahan, he'll have his day in the sun. He'll be guarantee you. He's good. And he's young, and he's good, and and that team is going to be one that's going to have to be contended with for a long time. But no, Andy Andy's you know what? Andy's put in his time. He's a class act. You don't survive in coaching as long as he has, especially at that level, if you're not good at what you do and if you're not good people. And I couldn't be happier for Andy Reid. Fantastic. All righty. If there's nothing more.
You ready, Coach? So do you flush the last weekend, the last 2 weekends for that matter, or do you have some concern? I know you've talked a lot about being the better team come late February and early March.
Concerns are many. Like, we just keep taking hits, but we're resilient. We're going to be resilient. Our numbers are down. Some on things that we had control over. Some on things that we don't have control over. It's not good right now. We are down to the bare minimum of players that we can dress for a game. But you know what? That's life. And I used to have a little deal on my desk. It said, "Do the best you can with what you have." And I don't know what happened to it. Lost it in a move somewhere. But I always remember that when things get tough, do the best you can with what you have. And one thing that we do have, the kids that we do have, I mean, they are willing, hungry, hard-working kids. And in the last 2 weekends, we came up short, but we didn't come up short because we got outworked. We didn't come up short because our attitudes weren't good. I mean, my God, I'm just thinking of our killing those 5-minute major and our guys just sacrificing their body, taking those missiles in the knee, in the ankle, everywhere. And how do you not stick with a group like that and like we do in some respect? You're right. Like we have to flush it. We controlled everything we could control, and it wasn't enough to win the game. But it's certainly nothing not to be proud of. I mean, we're proud of the effort, proud of the attitude, proud of our guys, the resiliency. We need to just keep. Need to keep moving forward, and we do have to flush the bad, but we have to also learn from it. You can't hit guys from behind with 5 minutes left in a game. You got to control yourself. You have to have an active stick. You have to go in and contain. We took a 2-minute penalty that cost us the night before. We took a 5-minute penalty that costed us on Saturday. Like, we have to learn from those things. But those are also, the young man on Saturday hasn't played a whole lot. He's a freshman and he's learning, and he learned a hard lesson. But a lot of the mistakes we made, the two that I just talked about, they were aggressive mistakes. We want our team, we want our team playing aggressively. Like we have to. When you're a cornered animal, like it's not time to cower and let your opponent eat you alive. That's when you have to attack. You have to come out swinging. And I think our kids, I know our kids have. They've come out swinging for the last 4 games. And at the end of the day, we just we couldn't score enough goals. And in other respects, you look at what we gave up on Friday. We gave up 2 goals where we just didn't cover. Somebody. We're standing right next to somebody, and didn't cover them, and also two goals that they scored on power plays where we took avoidable penalties. So obviously, we need to eliminate that from our game. And when it's all said and done, it's going to be the same it's always been here. When we get to the playoffs, it's not going to be in our favor to have to go out and win a game 5-4. It's going to be in our favor to be able to go out and win a game 1-0, 2-1, 3-2 at the most. And in order for us to be able to do that, we have to eliminate some of those big mistakes from our game. But it is what it is, and we'll take it head on. We've had some injuries that we have no control over. Some concussions. Matt Pulver's out with a real bad, tough injury at this point. And then we had some guys that let their teammates down, and that's fine. It is what it is. What's the old saying? Sometimes life deals you a lemon. Sometimes it deals you a lemonade. Well, we've had to suck a few lemons here, but we'll get through it. We'll get on top of it, and we will do the best we can. And I really believe when it's all said and done, every game is a preparation. We're preparing, trying to iron out the kinks, and it's a dry run for that playoff. We're preparing for that first playoff series. Hey, right now, that's the only girl we got to dance with, and that's what we're going to do, and we're going to continue to dance with her.
At what point do you ask if Eric Anderson and Austin Park have played any other positions? Since you're two backup goaltenders, since you don't have anybody else to play.
Yeah, no doubt. We've been thinking about bodies a lot, and not just bodies to put on the bench, but bodies for practice. Like when something like this happens, it affects a lot of things. We're in talking about our practice. Like right now with the bodies we have, with the shortage of bodies available, you have to alter the way you practice. Like we have to design some low impact practices. One thing we sure can't afford to have happen is somebody getting dinged up in practice right now. So we're having the drills that we do when you're this short-handed, drills that are effective when you have a group of 28 out there is a lot different than when you have a group of 18. And so just the way you design your practices and all that type of thing. But again, this is what we do, and we'll deal with it. It is what it is. We're dealing with some adversity right now, but our thing is we're going to do the right thing. The guys that we have, they just in regards to the way they played, the way they competed, the heart, the desire that they played with. Hey, I'll be honest with you. The last 4 games, and there's sometimes you have teams that are for whatever reason collectively taking a shortcut, and they get fed their lunch by some opponent, and you go in and you don't feel sorry for them. You know what? You got just what you deserved. But over the last 4 games, I've gone in the locker room after the game feeling bad for our guys because they've given it everything they have, and it just wasn't enough to win. Now, with that, let's learn some lessons from it. Some of the mistakes, the avoidable mistakes that we've made, let's eliminate those. Let's move forward. Let's chip away. Let's progressively get better and better and better, and make sure that we are the best version of ourselves collectively. Make sure we're the best collective version of ourselves when we face off against that opponent in the first round.
Lastly, on the topic of players that have switched positions, can you talk about how Joe Tyran has been as far as coming here as a defenseman and winding up as a forward?
Yeah, and he may end up being a defenseman again. Yeah, No, because Joe has played defense, and right now with our numbers, we think we're gonna get Plumes back this week. Obviously, Paul is not going to be available, so we're going to be. Tom Lack's taken great strides. Actually, played Saturday, and I didn't think he was going to. He went out from the pregame in the warm-ups, and miraculously it healed. But right now we're at 13. We're at 13 healthy forwards. That's as of this moment. That could change here in the next 5 or 10 minutes. I don't know. But right now we got 13 healthy forwards, and we have 6 defensemen healthy right now. And so we better have a backup defenseman. And the next logical backup defenseman is Joey T.
And what kind of player has he been for you these last couple of years?
Joe Tyron? Oh, Joey's a heart and soul guy. He ain't the prettiest girl at the dance, but he got substance. Like he's somebody you want to spend some time around. He's a good human being, good person, great role model. One of those guys that the last few years, our freshmen coming in, having battled through basic training, he's there for them. He's got their arm around him. Joe leads by example. He's not a big talker, hardly ever talks, but he's a man of substance, and he gives you everything he's got in every practice, in every game, in the weight room. He's a fantastic guy. Not the most talented guy out there, but substance to the hilt. Substance to the hilt. No, they got nothing bad to say about Joey Tyron. Fantastic guy. And you know what? When you go through things like we've just gone through right now, and with the suspensions and the injuries and all that, you need to have some guys like that around, because he's going to give you what he's got, regardless of what the score is on the scoreboard, what the situation is in the locker room, what the numbers are. It doesn't matter. He's just going to do what he does.